Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Dwayne. I got a video for that. Kimball, United States Army veteran and retired VA rating specialist. Today's video, I'm going to be explaining if you're stuck at 70, 80, or 90% and you're trying to get it to 100%, I'm going to break down how you can make that leap fast. So you want to make sure you stick around. All right, everyone. We all know the biggest jump to get to 100% is when you get up to that 60, 70, 80, especially 90%. And you get stuck if you believe you should be 100%. Now, I don't tell people not to go after 100%. It's up to them if they want to make that jump, okay? Only you know if you should be 100% or not. I do not judge any veteran for saying, hey, I want to be 100% because I feel I deserve it. If you feel you deserve it, then go after it, okay? So I'm going to explain to you how do you make that jump, all right? So let's go ahead and get into it. Slide number one. Here in slide number one, this is an example of a disability breakdown letter that includes the diagnostic codes. Now, you can find this in some other videos, and you can find it in my book. If you haven't picked up my book, VA Claim Success, you can go to Amazon and pick it up. If you're a Prime member, get it fast, or you can go to our website, and I'll send you a signed copy, all right? Now, when you get this letter, you want to be looking at what your service connected for. So it's going to have the percentage, the disability that your service connected for, and the 4-digit diagnostic code. This is golden. You want this in your arsenal. Now, you can also find the same information to include the effective date for each percentage you've been assigned for each disability on the rating code sheet. But the VA does not send you the rating code sheet, all right? So towards the end of this video, I'm going to explain to you how you can get this letter in real time. So as soon as you watch this video, if it's before closing time, you stick around. I'm going to show you how to do it, okay? But what's important is you look at your overall percentage. In this example, the veteran is at 90. Overall percentage is 92. They need 3 additional 10% to get to 95, and they're going to be 100%. So let's look at what their service connected for. Migraines, headaches, 50%. According to the diagnostic code 8100, that's the max, all right? PTSD at 70%, diagnostic code 9411. We all know there's a general rating formula criteria for mental conditions, meaning if you're service connected for PTSD, depression, anxiety, schizophrenia, whatever, the 70% criteria is the same for each diagnosis, okay? So the veteran in this case says, you know what? I maxed out at 50. I don't feel I meet the 100% for the PTSD. The lumbar strain is at 40, which is really high. I feel I meet the 40. Right knee strain, 10%. I only have pain with full range of motion, but they have painful scar, okay? The hearing loss is the same, but they feel they have sleep apnea. They have a diagnosis of sleep apnea, and they claim it secondary to PTSD. They have peripheral neuropathy, radiculopathy in the lower extremities. Oh, I can claim that secondary to the back because that is a common complication. All right? Simple as that. And these are little things that you need to know because it'll help. All right? Then the veteran says, hey, I served in combat, or I was in a combat arms unit and I got ringing in the ears, and they filed a claim for tinnitus. Now, slide number 2. This is how you get the records, okay? This is how you get the records. How to request a breakdown letter, and if you need an intent to file. This is something I put together for some training that I previously did. Call the VA's call center at 800-827-1000, 800-827-1000. You let them know, I would like a disability breakdown letter to include all my service-connected conditions, percentages, and diagnostic codes. Now, you can request that they email this to you. If the person doesn't want to email it to you, just tell them thank you, hang up, call back, and get someone else. They can email it to you. Had a veteran leave me a comment and say, Dwayne, they don't email them anymore. I'm like, wait a minute, really? So I called and I requested mine and requested they send it to them by email. They was like, sure, Mr. Kimball, we can do that. All right. So don't go off of they said, just call. All right. Because they can still do it. Now, if you don't have a pending claim, or if you have a pending claim and you want to file something new, at that time you can say, I want to do an intent to file for compensation. Okay. You can kill two birds with one stone. But having that document, this disability breakdown letter to include the diagnostic codes, if you don't have your claims folder with your rating code sheet, this is the next best thing, and you don't have to submit a FOIA request to get it. That's a nugget. Hope you caught it. All right. Now, slide number 3. The veteran filed a claim for those conditions. Okay. The veteran filed a claim for those conditions that I talked about. So what did the veteran do? The veteran filed an increase in the scar because they said it was painful. 1 to 2 painful scars is 10%. Veteran claimed tinnitus due to being in a combat arms unit, like I stated before, being exposed to acoustic trauma, got 10%. Claimed sleep apnea secondary to PTSD. I've actually rated cases where the doctor said or veteran submitted DBQs along with the sleep study confirming a diagnosis of sleep apnea. Sleep apnea secondary to PTSD. They have a CPAP, 50%. The veteran claimed bilateral lower extremity peripheral neuropathy, got service connected for 10% for both, for the sciatic and the femoral nerve. Okay, and that is not considered pyramiding. All right, 10% for both 10% for both extremities combined, but it pushed the overall evaluation to 100%. Okay, now a lot of people say, well, Dwayne, I still don't get it. All right, first step. Call 800-827-1000, get a copy of the disability breakdown letter to include the diagnostic codes. Now, if you're not service connected or you file claims and you're not receiving compensation for any service connected conditions, you've been denied every time, you will not have this letter. This letter is only for veterans that are service connected. All right. Now, you request it. You look at it. You look at it and you say, man, I'm only service connected, let's say, for tinnitus. What can you do? Depression is secondary to tinnitus. Okay, depression is secondary to tinnitus. Let's see, what else? Oh, sleep apnea, secondary to depression. Okay, migraines, secondary to tinnitus. And by the way, the veteran's been taking some medication for the depression, and now the veteran has GERD. GERD secondary to the medication prescribed for the service-connected depression. Now, depending on the percentage that veteran receives for those different conditions will determine if they land at 70, 80, 90, or 100%. Okay, but it all starts with the disability breakdown letter. Okay, so you get it, you look at it, and then you confirm the diagnoses that you have. Where do they fall under the 5 ways of service connection? I talk about that in the book, and I have a video on it. So that is the fastest way from 70, 80, 90, or 100. Or in the example that I gave you, the veteran only had 10% for tinnitus and was able to move up the ladder. Okay, so at the end of the day, it's about being educated, especially if you have these diagnoses. How do they fall under the 5 ways of service connection? And you go from there. So with that being said, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and don't forget to share this video with your fellow veterans. Thank you.